Greetings and welcome to Stunthanger Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthanger Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthanger Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthanger Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthanger Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthanger Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. If you're not a member, please register at stunthanger.com/SMF. That's stunthanger.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying, courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthanger will not approve you. If you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching us on YouTube. Wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here, and I'll do my best to make your comments or questions part of the show. Understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient. I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. And by the way, you only can make comments or ask questions during a live stream. So like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you find the Stunthanger Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos, Saturday at John's, contest coverage like the Nats and other contests that Sparky does on his platform, informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe and share the videos. Comments also help the Stunthanger YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthanger's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And by the way, I am a member also. I have the $4.99 come out of my checking account every month, and I don't miss it. And I suspect you won't miss it either. Plus, you'll be doing a good thing, showing your support and love to the hobby. I hopefully you will enjoy. Okay. Now, you can also show your support by using the super chat over here, which is below the chat box. There's a big $sign, and click on that, and you can donate any amount you like. Now, you only can use the super chat feature during a live stream. So like I said, every Monday, Friday night, come on in here and maybe just make a donation and come back and watch the full stream as a replay when it's more convenient. I know we do this show kind of late for those on the East Coast, so watch the replays and then just give us thumbs up. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthanger. And with your memberships, you'll get special badges, special stickers that Sparky and I can see in the chat box. You also have access to an unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel, Stunthanger. I'm in here just twice a week. So if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And place a comment or question on the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his Junar XL during an official flight at the Nationals. Now, if you use that video or any of my videos on my channel and make a question or make a comment, I'll be notified because that's my channel. This is Sparky's YouTube channel. I'm only here twice a week. So if you want to get in touch with me, do it that way. Go to my channel, make a comment or question, and I'll respond to you quickly. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You guys are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to post the link at Stunthanger Forum right now. So that's how you get into this Zoom meeting, is through the link at stunthanger.com/SMF. My computer is working really slow. I had a hard time getting on here tonight. So I just clicked post and the computer did not do nothing. That's why I was a few moments late, because there we go. So the link is now posted. Now I'm going to go to the YouTube channel, Sparky's YouTube channel, and go to the studio, which I call the control panel. And let me see what's going on there. And again, my computer is just moseying along. It is slow. Bear with me here. I'm getting ready to be there. Okay, now I'm in the control panel. I can see that we're streaming, and let me click on that so I can get a better look. So this is how I kind of do the show. I have 3 monitors, and it enables me to keep an eye. Matter of fact, Keith Trostle's on his way in, and he's just connecting right now. I can see that's happening. There's no one in the chat box. We have 9 concurrent viewers. Thank you very much, Keith, for coming in. How are you doing this evening?
Doing good. Sorry I'm late.
I was, my computer did not want to connect, so I'm a little bit late myself. So
that's what happened here. It wasn't ready to go yet or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I had to wait. I was like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. So I went flying today. Did you do any flying? I know that you have to drive to go to your flying field.
Our field is not viable right now.
Well, I actually was so amazed. The city of Escondido, where I live, I think they're short. They've had some lawnmowers break down, and where I fly is like a real low priority, and so it hasn't been mowed in like a month and a half.
Well, you've got grass, we've got rocks.
Oh yeah, that's a deal breaker.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry to hear that, Keith. Oh man, that's too bad. Oh my
we've
goodness.
got a covering that's like a plastic coated, just called Geotech, I think, and great big long sheets about 20 feet, 25 feet wide, and it's set up in a donut. Outside of the circle is about 80 feet. But then there's cement fines from the cement crushers that were coated, and that with the 800-mile-an-hour winds they had earlier, all that stuff blew away to where it's just down to grit and rocks. And now that I've got some more fines to put out there, and it has to be leveled out. We've got buckets or tractor buckets full of the stuff that just needs to be leveled out, and then it rains, and so the stuff just becomes mush. It's kind of a mess.
Oh, that sounds terrible. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'm very fortunate, but like I said, the city is behind, and the individuals that mow the lawns, they don't just mow the lawns where I fly, they mow the lawns for the whole city, all the city parks. So like I said, we're a low priority, so it hasn't been mowed in a month and a half. Well, the individuals that run the softball leagues, they see me all the time, and I got their attention, and they came and mowed the lawn for me, mowed my circle for me. So I'm really ecstatic that I had a flying circle where the grass was mowed today. Eric Rule, you made it in. You did good, my man. Thank you very much.
I used to know an Eric Rule a long time ago.
Oh, he's changed. He's nothing like we used to know.
In fact, he visited me here not too long ago. How you doing, Eric?
Hey, Colonel.
Hey, it's good to see you.
It's good being seen rather than viewed.
Yeah, I think that's what you told me last time I saw you. Hey, we had a good time when you were here.
Well, this retirement stuff, I'm not sure about.
That's helping keep me young because I can get to build airplanes and talk about airplanes all the time.
Let me say hi to my other friend, Gary Sinclair. Thank you, Gary, for coming in.
You're welcome.
How you doing, Gary?
Pretty good.
Good, good. And we have no one in the chat. So I don't know what's going on with the chat box. No one is chatting. So it's just us right now. And Eric, on average, we usually end up having around 12, 13. Sometimes it balloons up to 15 people inside this meeting. And but it just takes a while for the momentum to get going. But we usually have a lot of fun doing this show. So have you been doing anything airplane wise, Eric?
No, I haven't been doing much.
Someone might have someone might have a tab open. I heard something just a moment ago.
Yeah, I was trying to get on here so I can give you a thumbs up, and then I'll be
Thank
off.
you very much. Thumbs up, thumbs up. That makes you a VIP when you come in, you give me a like. Thank you very much. And then Greg Biswick, he says, hello, Charles, loud and clear. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that. I've had moments when I forgot to put my mic in front of my face so you could barely hear me. So appreciate that. So we have Greg on the chat box, and we have us here. And so it looks like I'm the only one who went flying today. So I went out flying today with my SV-11, and actually I really was fortunate to help a guy who's still learning a lot. And he's kind of new at this. Keith Bozell, he came out with me today, and he brought out a Super Clown, and with an Enya 19 on it. And I did the maiden flight on that plane today. After I saw it last week, actually it was this Monday, we did a kind of a bench trim at the field, and I discovered that the prop was actually canted in to the circle, which we know is a deal breaker, right? So I told you he has to fix that. So he came back and he fixed that, and everything checked out, took it up in the air, and the plane flew really good. It's a little bit nose heavy, which is what I would like for a maiden flight on almost any airplane. And the plane flew pretty good. So he got a chance to fly it. And then I was able to get the grass mowed. So we kind of stopped flying for a while to mow the circle. And then we commenced to continue flying, and put up some more flights with the SV-11. I'm still trimming it out. I've gotten it to the point where it's turning pretty equal. Insides and outsides feel about the same kind of response. And did some vertical 8s today and horizontal 8s, and just filling the plane out. So I hope, I keep saying this every week, that I'll do the full pattern, but I really think next week I'll probably loosen the reins and do a full pattern on the plane. So that's kind of the extent of my flying for today. But I did fly yesterday, Thursday, by myself. I had my stooge, and with the same plane. And then of course, Monday, Memorial Day, there was about 8 of us out there flying. Dave Saban, who you know, Eric, and Keith, was out there, and seven other guys. So did some flying this week. I guess I've flown 3 days in this week. So that's kind of like a personal best for a long time.
What was Dave Saban flying?
He brought out his Genesis.
Okay.
And I think it was a I want to say Rojet 60 something. I'm not sure if it was a 61 or 65 rear exhaust. And Dave seems to have a rotation in his fleet of airplanes. And I've seen him bring out the Genesis. He has I really like his that plane, the Epic from Jim Armour. He built a beautiful example of Jim Aaron's plane, and it has a Super Tiger 60. Then of course he has a Thunderbolt that he brings out. I'm kind of lost at which ones, but he has quite a few planes he just cycles through. So I don't know why he didn't come out today. And maybe he heard something in the forecast that I wasn't aware of, but it ended up being a beautiful day out here. You
Does
gotta
he,
come-
does he still have that twin engined trike thing he built? Oh Lord, 6, 7 years ago now.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, if he does, I don't know of it. I remember he had an incident with the of all things, the electrical system.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Ended up-
because he put retracts in it, as I recall.
Yes, yeah.
I was wondering if he was still flying that. I only saw it fly once.
Yeah, I was there with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was at that baseball diamond down at the
Right.
field. Yeah, yeah.
right. So
Yeah, it seemed to perform pretty well, so, you know.
yeah, it's
um,
unfortunate. I think he had something to do with the wires. I don't know what happened, but the engine or a engine, I'm not sure if it was one or two, quit at the worst possible moment. And so
okay.
that plane is no longer with us. And
That
not sure-
happens to a lot of them.
they all have a fuse. We just don't know what the when it's going to be extinguished. They all have a fuse. We just don't know how long they're going to last. But that one's no longer with us. And then he built another twin. I know one of the two twins with the tri-gears was called Second Wind.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's the second one or but they're all something similar to that,
Mhm. Yeah.
I think one was the I don't know, but yeah,
Mhm.
but he had one of his ones I really liked that he flew that was electric was the that military plane, that Sky Raider, I think it was.
I don't recall that one, but
Yeah,
then
that
again.
was a pretty neat flying plane.
Mhm.
Yeah, so he has a rotation. I can't think of all the planes just because
Right.
I'm trying to remember them all, but he has quite a few planes that fly pretty well.
Yeah, he has almost as many planes as the colonel does.
I'm out of airplanes practically, so at least viable airplanes.
Hey, Keith, when I was up at your place a couple of years back, you were just finishing off a new one.
Semi-scale Martin Baker.
Yeah, another Martin Baker. Yeah.
Yeah,
How's that one?
it came out heavy and doesn't fly very well.
No?
Oh, it's too bad.
I'm really
Oh.
disappointed in it.
So do you still have it? Is it something you have in your garage or shop, or is it a wall hanger in
It's sitting
someplace in the house?
downstairs in a recreation room. It's been on, we've had it shown on Stunthanger. You want me to go get it?
Yeah, I'd love to
Yeah.
see that. I love show and tells.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, what Keith calls his recreation room is actually his basement that is a full shop.
Wow. Yeah,
I have no idea how Miss Barbara allows it, but
well, she's obviously a special woman. Any woman that tolerates us men with our hobbies.
oh, my wife calls it boys with toys.
Yeah. But I kind of refuse to call them toys. I put so much
Well-
work and energy into them. I just cannot. I mean, I know some guys say we're just flying toy airplanes, but I just don't see it that way.
Mhm. Well, I used to refer to it as, just toy airplanes, and my wife keeps saying, they're highly technical stunt machines, and I keep saying, yeah, right,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I like your wife. I remember meeting her at your house. So neat lady.
Well, I don't know, she puts up with me, so she obviously has a lot of good qualities that,
And she was nice to me too. So
well, she's
What can I
nice to
say?
everybody, yeah. But she puts up with me, so obviously there's something wrong with her.
that reminds me of the time I think I was sharing with you about Lou Walgas at the contest, one of the contests, and how nice he was to me. And I'm thinking I'm feeling all special that Lou Walgas was
Yep.
so nice to me. And you're like, he's nice to everybody, Charles.
Well, he's nice to you. He makes me call him Mr. Walgast.
Oh man. So we have someone in the chat box, Edward Carlaw. He says, like sent. Thank you very much, Ed. Appreciate that. Now, if you want to be a VIP, you got it half done. You did the like. If you come on in, then you'll be a VIP. And look who we have. We have Philip Bailey. Hey, Philip, thank you for coming in.
Glad to be here.
Ever met Eric Rule? I know you know who he is, but this is
I
Eric.
know who he is, but I've never met him.
You're lucky.
How are you,
Eric Rule,
Eric?
this is Philip
I'm
Bailey.
good. How are you? Nice
Doing
to
great.
meet you.
I've used a few of your products over the years, I believe.
Oh, well, thank you.
No, thank
My
you. I'm glad
mortgage
you were
company
making it.
thanks you.
I wish you were still making some of them, or I haven't
Well,
seen any in a while.
Yeah, every now and then you have to realize that you're getting older and it's time, you know?
Oh
look
yeah.
I mean,
This,
I did it for 28 years and enjoyed every minute of it, quite honestly. And, oh Lord, there's another toy airplane.
Look at that beautiful
that. Wow.
airplane. That is magnificent.
Yeah.
That's a shame that it's too heavy.
That's as pretty as
Oh.
the first one was.
Oh, this is semi-scale. It's not scale like ones in the museum, but fuselage for scale. Fuselage has been slimmed down, and of course the wing and tail is bigger.
Yeah.
PA 75 in it, and weighs 80 ounces, and it doesn't like to turn very well up at this 6,000 foot altitude. But,
Yes. But you know what? Maybe I should fly it for you in Escondido. It's only like 600 or 700
that might
feet.
help. I took it to Las Vegas last fall.
Well, that's still too high. They're like 23, 24. You need to let me have it down in Escondido where it's 700 feet above sea level. It'll probably turn great.
Yeah, that might work.
Oh, that's so beautiful, Keith. Amazing. Wow, that is really nice.
Yeah. I've got some cockpit detail that represents the full-size airplane down to the guy's waist level. No, I don't know. There's no way I can get that to show.
Wow. What you
That's
can do
really
is just
pretty
take
though.
some still pictures of it and show us, do a screen share of the still pictures. Not necessarily tonight, but some other time. Just take some still
That's-
shots
that's-
of it.
I'll try to do
That's a
that.
typical Keith plane. It's
Right.
gorgeous.
What I really like about the Colonel's airplanes, if you look at all the grill work that he puts into them,
Hmm.
that's always amazed me because that stuff is the toughest part of modeling.
Here, I'll show it to you in just a minute.
Yeah, I know. I saw that in his Chisler.
Yeah.
He had that same grill-like effect.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Oh, that is just so beautiful. While you're doing that, let me continue to read the chats. Bill Bomer says, hi, Charles. Hi. I think he says, I have a Jim Armour Epic that is just ready to paint. Beautiful airplane. It will have a Super Tiger 60 also. We'll see. Lynn at Tornado Contest tomorrow. Like, sent. Thank you very much, Bill. Appreciate that. And Bill, if you want to share a picture of what you've done, that'd be great. I could show everybody if you want to.
Wow,
on
look
in.
at this.
Oh, let me check that out. Oh, that is nice. Well, I wish I
That
could
is really
magnify
cool,
that.
Keith. That is really cool.
Here, I'll show you the.
So it's just too heavy to do the full pattern,
Hey,
But
Dennis,
it-
thank you for coming in, Dennis.
but it'll fly nice just to be out to fly it once, wouldn't it? You just wanted to
Well,
fly it.
I'm scared to do a vertical 8 with it. I just don't think it'll do it. There's-
Oh, look at that, you guys.
Yeah, that's what I like
There we
too.
go.
Yeah, I like that.
That
It's
is
always
beautiful.
amazing, Keith, always amazing.
Yeah.
Really,
Wow.
it's quite simple to do.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
you can do
for
a show and
you.
tell on how to do that because that doesn't
Simple
look
for
simple.
you.
Well, what it is, this is a 64th inch ply. And you make these horizontal pieces here and stack them up. And then the Dremel tool, the cutoff wheel, is exactly the right width that you can cut the slots in. And you make it, and then the longitudinal ones, cut them. And it's an egg crate sort of thing. And it's all oversized, of course, and it's wider than what the cutout is. So you kind of, the waltz is pretty, you just kind of slice where the pieces go, and you just slip it in and CA it all. And then you have this great big bunch of plywood sticking up and down here. And you just take the Dremel tool, the sanding tool, and get it kind of rough shaped. And rough shaped here, then you finish it off with sandpaper block. And on here, a big dowel rod with sandpaper, and you just shape it. And it's the way it works out.
Wow, that is beautiful.
Sounds easy, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
right.
makes it sound easy.
Yeah. So,
I think I showed you the chiseler one. Last one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the chisel. I took pictures of it and I shared the pictures with everybody probably about a month ago. That is
I don't know if
absolutely beautiful. Yeah, you gotta down Escondido and fly here. I'm sure you can do the vertical 8 down here because my Strega is 80 ounces. And when I went to Arizona, I felt like the plane was gonna fall on top of me, but I hadn't experienced that feeling in Escondido.
Well, and I think I've got a cooling problem with this thing. I just don't think I'm getting enough air into the cylinder. However, I don't think you'll be able to see it. But I've got a little, no, you can't see it. There's inside the spinner, this is a 3.5 inch spinner.
Wow, it doesn't look 3.5 inch from here. Wow.
It's 3 1/4, 3.5, I forget. But there's an impeller, a 3-bladed 1/32 inch steel impeller setting inside this, in front of the propeller. And there are notches in the spinner backplate with louvers on it to help suck air, and the little impeller to push air into the engine compartment to help keep it cool. But I think I'm still getting too much heat. And I think the exhaust is, I had to cut it off to get it in here. I didn't want to get into the leading edge of the wing.
Right.
And I think it's too restrictive on the engine. And
Oh,
maybe
okay.
maybe I could open up the nipple back here a little bit. But this was set up, Bob Whitney made this little nipple thing here at the back. And then this is my pressure system here. I don't know if you can see either. Does it show up? There's bolts here and one here in the back. And those bolts, they go through the tank, and that's what holds the thing into the tank compartment.
Okay.
Okay. So you have some tubes inside the tank. So the
Yeah.
bolts go through the tubes.
I could take some time and explain that if you'd like.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I wish this would show up better. Let me go get another tank and I'll make more sense. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
All
Keith,
right.
would you be getting a lot of heat induction from the exhaust, from the rear exhaust?
Well, I just don't
That's
think
maybe overcoming the amount of the air that you're blowing through the front?
it could be.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got the louvers in the back of the spinner, that should feed more than enough air in for cooling.
Well, I need to try something else because I've got another spinner that's got huge cutouts.
Ah, okay, to get a little more volume of air?
And that would help that little
Yeah.
impeller and the louvers and the back plate
Right,
help
right.
get more air into there. And I've
Yeah.
not done that yet
Yeah.
because I don't like the looks of those big cutouts. But when the thing's running, you can't see them. So that's kind of
Right,
being
right.
vain for no reason.
Yeah.
Let me go get that tank. I'll be right back.
All right, thank you.
Is that Dennis I see up there? Dennis
Yes.
had a mission?
Dennis Adamison is in the house. Let me
Yeah. Hi,
change-
Dan.
Oh, my Lord. Are you gonna be coming to the contest in Las Vegas in November?
I'm afraid I can't. My
You can't? Oh.
number one son and his wife have conspired to deliver grandkid number 6.
Oh, Lord.
Due like November 1st. All right. So
So
just,
that
let's say the
means,
timing doesn't match up. So
yeah. Oh, that's too bad. I
it
really
really is.
enjoyed,
We had a good time out there last
yeah, I
time.
really enjoyed meeting you. We had a lot of fun.
Well, I saw, as I usually do, I usually go visit the YouTube thing and deliver a like. I think that's
Mhm.
important, to help support the broadcast and everything like that. And I saw you were here, so before I joined up, I had to run upstairs and change my t-shirt.
Oh my goodness.
I,
No
I
mercy.
told Charles about the reduction in your points when I was judging your flights on the 2 days.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, the next Brodak fly-in is what, week after next? Eric, send me your shirt size. I'll get you a t-shirt and you too can be well dressed. Okay?
Oh, ooh, that's kinda-
Just a
Uh-oh.
second. It'll go with my hat.
What's that?
Let's see if I can get my hat shown. There.
All right.
I get
Yeah.
my
Oh, there you
RSM
go,
hat.
yes.
Yeah, there we go.
got it
There we
all
go.
covered.
Yeah,
There.
it was kind of funny when Dennis showed up and I just looked at him. I said,
And
Dennis
I
Adamison
looked at
works
him
for
and I
Buck
went,
Brodak, my biggest competitor.
I went
Hmm.
like that. Said, oh,
Score's
yeah,
gonna be
here, boy,
hurting.
what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well, you were being scored out of 25 instead of 40 on all the maneuvers.
I believe that. I believe
Oh,
that.
hell,
yeah,
you
yeah.
won.
Unfortunately, I didn't think I was giving you enough reason to jump to the 40-point scale either, but that's neither here nor there.
No, actually, you were flying pretty darn well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Keith is back.
He's back. Let me make him big. Spotlight
okay.
for everyone. All right,
Yeah.
Keith, you're big.
Anyway, here's one of the tanks I made for this thing. But what it is, maybe, yeah, there's 2 tubes that go through the tank. This is the a water tube, 3/16 outside diameter water line. So it's thick walled stuff. And there's a washer on the top of the tank here. And then on the inside, there's a washer on the bottom of the tank.
Ah.
So that's all soldered together so that when you put this thing and bolt it down with the blind nuts and the bolts through here, all you're doing is putting pressure on that tube. It's
Mhm.
not
Right.
putting any pressure onto the tank at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then the washers on the top here and the one on the inside distribute the load.
Mhm.
So this has worked pretty well for me. I had a tank like this in the Bearcat, and that lasted years and years. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a you have to be really careful to get everything lined up for the blind nuts that's underneath the tank compartment to hold this thing in. And I didn't check my tolerances. Anyway, the blind nuts underneath are not centered very well and not in line, so I had to compensate to get these things set up to match the blind nuts that were already there. And the real tricky part is getting this all soldered together without distorting the tank when you're trying to solder it.
Mm-hmm.
Keith, did you carve a block to form the tank around, or did you
No,
freehand it?
I use those brakes that Jim Lee sells to
Okay.
bend the metal.
Mhm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. And what I have to do though is I take a block of balsa wood that matches the width or the thickness of inside thickness of this thing. So
Mhm.
I can put the balsa wood in there when I'm soldering these washers and the tube in
Right.
place.
Yeah,
So it doesn't crush down when
yeah,
I'm,
so you can hold everything in position.
yeah.
For soldering, yeah,
And it only takes me about 8 hours to make one of these things.
very nice. That's a hard tank to make. I mean, I've built a couple of thousand tanks over the years, and there's a lot of work went into that, my friend. A lot
Well,
of
yeah,
work.
this is so goes inside to clear
Mhm.
the wing, the leading edge. And this is
Mhm.
to help move air smoothly
Right,
because the engine compartments or
yeah,
engine
so you're not
compartments-
creating an air dam
So
there.
it's trying to help the flow
Yeah, that's
through the
smart.
tank compartment because the muffler um, sits, maybe half-inch above
Right,
this.
right.
A few times I've flown it, I don't think and had the same situation with the Bearcat. I don't have any problem with the heat from the exhaust
Mhm.
affecting the tank. Although sometimes I did put some insulation on the Bearcat. I put some insulation between the rear exhaust muffler and the tank.
Mhm.
But, I ended up not using it.
Yeah, that's really well thought out. That's a really well thought out tank. I'm
Yeah.
quite
And
impressed.
this is the overflow tube, goes down into the
Sure.
top. This is really the top tank here.
Mhm.
And then this is the uniflow vent. It goes
Right.
into the corner about right here.
Right.
Keith, how many ounces is that tank?
This one's 10. I've got them from 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Wow.
Actually, it's 10 and a half. And I think the 8 ounces is about right. I had no idea what this engine was going to use to do a pattern. And I still don't really know because I've not done the whole pattern yet.
Well, Keith, when you make the different sizes, do you like just cut off the back? Is it same cross section, or how do you make it smaller? I guess where do you lose the size, if you will?
Make it just a bit narrower and not quite as deep. But
Okay.
the length is almost on all 4 tanks. The width is length is the same, and the
Okay.
general arrangement here mostly it's just the height, and on the smaller tank actually a little bit more narrow, not
Mhm.
quite as wide. This one totally fills up the tank compartment. It's
Yeah, I
as big as
bet.
I can put in there.
I bet that's some beautiful metal work there.
I'll tell you.
Very neat. Thank
I'll
you for
bet you
showing
that
us
was
that.
an absolute bear to solder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I've got some really good steel for this. It's 7006 steel. I think it came from McMaster or something.
Mhm.
And in fact, Frank McMillan gave me a whole stack of that stuff, sheets of that stuff.
Was it standard 9,000 tin plate?
It's 7,000 thick,
Oh, 10,000 tin.
seven
Okay.
7,000, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't weighed the tank, but it's not that heavy.
Mhm.
There's more solder in it than there is anything else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, tin
And
both,
yeah, I think I told
tinned on
you,
both sides, I assume.
what's that?
The tin plate was tinned on both sides?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's same inside and outside.
Now, when
Really
you
nice
gentlemen
stuff.
make tanks, what solder are you guys using? Rosin core or something else?
No, not rosin core. It's maybe not stuff you're supposed to use. What, Stay Bright, whatever that is.
Oh, Stay Bright.
Silver
Okay.
solder,
Yeah,
silver solder.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I made tanks that way for years and I never had a problem with it.
Yeah, we had a gentleman on the show recently who said don't use Stay Bright silver solder to make tanks. So
Did you say why?
Oh, I think it was because you just corrode, just terrible, just corrosion. If I
He
remember
was using
correctly.
acid solder though, acid rosin.
Oh, you just
Depends on the rosin you use a lot of times.
yeah, I use a flux, whatever it is that it's comes in a tube, and I take a ear dabber,
Q-tip.
Q-tip, and just make sure everything is got the flux on it, and then the solder flows where you got the flux.
Hmm.
Very well. You
Keep-
can't argue the results. I mean, the tank.
Yeah,
was-
keep it
wash-
clean and well fluxed. It should work fine.
Yeah, and then
Mhm.
wash it real good. I've never had any corrosion,
Mhm.
so.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is you clean off the flux after you,
Oh, yeah.
after you've done it,
Yeah.
and that stops the corrosion.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know, when I built tanks, I used a 1/32 rosin core from Hisco company. And it was a very expensive solder. It was about $38 a pound back then, but it worked flawlessly.
You don't want to buy it now.
Well, that's what I said back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I first started building tanks, it was like $18 for a pound. And it ended up at about 38 a pound. And
No.
I imagine it's probably up around $60 now. You know,
Possibly.
I can't quote you exactly, but I'm thinking the last I bought was around $78.
yeah.
So,
Well, I used to buy it commercially, so, you know, I'd get like 20 rolls of it at a time. So I'm sure I got a pretty fair discount from them because
Yeah.
well,
they
we get
treated
them
me
from,
very well.
you know, my brother-in-law owns J-Tronics, so that's how I get it, but it's
Yeah.
still, it's crazy.
this was-
expensive.
Yeah, I think I probably have a partial roll back in the shop, but I could
Mhm.
probably find out what it was, but I know that it was an extremely high level electronic solder.
Mhm.
And the stuff was basically goof proof. I mean,
Yeah, it's good stuff.
yeah, it was really
It's good
good
stuff.
solder, and you know, it worked beautifully.
lot of
Always
people
stayed
wanna
bright
save-
and shiny, and you know.
Yeah. Everybody wants to save a buck somewhere, and solder
Yeah,
is kind of
yeah.
one of those places you get what you pay for. If you buy the
Yeah, my
best, you
dad
get
used
the
to
best.
say, "Penny wise, pound foolish."
That's it.
Right.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm gonna have to take off. for a
There,
little
there's
bit.
Okay,
nothing
Keith,
better
alright.
than quality.
You gonna come back, Keith, or
Yeah, but I just wanted to say one more thing. I think I mentioned the copper tubing that goes through here. That's the heavy walled, it's 3/16 inch water tubing, copper tubing with an 1/8 inch inside diameter. So it's thick walled, and you can really hunker down with the bolts going through this thing and not have to worry about anything compressing or collapsing. So I'll be
Well,
back.
I think the addition of the washers, top and bottom, were brilliant, Keith. I really
Well,
do.
yeah, because
Yeah,
that,
that's-
It just
that's
means you can
golden.
torque it down and not have to worry about it.
because
Yeah,
the tube itself is taking all the compression.
yeah.
Right.
No load at all.
There's,
on the
yeah, there's
tank.
no load on the tank body.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then-
That's smart, very
and then-
smart.
The washer here on the top.
Yeah.
Every now and then, it reminds me of why the F9 flew so well, Keith.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this looks very much like the Bearcat tank, only it was smaller.
Mhm.
Hey, say hi to Barbara for us.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
all right? See you when you get back. Thank you. Oh, Eric, I have a message from Jeff Riley. It says, "Hi, Charles. Tell Eric I said hi. Haven't seen him since the 95 Toys for Tots at the Gulch."
Oh, for heaven's sakes. That's a long time ago.
Yes, yes.
I was young then.
Hmm,
We all were young then.
Yeah.
And then Craig Biswick says, "Yes, must clean off the flux."
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's true anytime.
Yeah, if you don't clean the flux, it's just gonna eat away at everything.
Hmm.
You know, Larry
Yeah.
Ringer sent me a video of you making fuel tanks. I think you was showing it, doing a show and tell at a club meeting, maybe the
Oh,
night.
yeah. Oh, Lord, that goes back a few years.
Yeah, I have that video.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know where it's at, but I do have it. I
Mhm.
love the brake you had. I imagine you had that modified as well. That was a nice brake.
actually, that, when I bought the company from GRW, I got that was part of the GRW package.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, it's a very nice,
Yeah.
Barbara,
Hey, Glenn Wells
Barbara.
knew what he
Hi,
was
Eric.
doing,
hmm
you know. I mean,
Eric, Barbara's saying hi to you.
hey, Barbara, how are you?
Doing good.
It's good to see you again.
Thank you. You too. You're looking good.
I haven't had a good meal since I was at your place.
Oh, my,
You just missed one here.
oh, my
Lord.
goodness.
Ahi tuna.
Are you still making Keith eat properly? It looks like he's in great shape.
Doing what? Am I still doing what?
Are you still making Keith eat properly?
I am,
Yeah, he looks in great shape.
Well, except for this,
but he cheats a lot.
she's lost a whole bunch. She's
in
down
other
to
words out.
weighing.
I'm
less-
back to my fighting weight.
she's
All
down-
right.
She weighs less now than when we were married.
Oh,
So,
fantastic.
Mm.
I'm not going to stand up and show you parts of my anatomy because it's not good.
see you in a little
Take
bit.
care.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
All right, be careful, Keith.
Yeah, John Miller has a shirt, Eric, you might appreciate. It says, made in the 40s, original parts, some still work.
Yeah.
I got a t-shirt the other day that I thought was quite appropriate. It said, I'm not getting old and forgetful. My mind is just full.
Yeah,
I like that too. I like
that's
that.
a good idea. I like
I
that.
don't know. I got when my wife got it for me. We were in Hawaii. She says, in dog years, I'm already dead. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's
it.
good.
oh well.
That's good.
The
Oh, Lord.
the worst thing that happens is when you get a life membership to the AMA,
Mm,
it
Mhm.
has an expiry date.
Mm,
yeah.
That's
I called
bad.
them and asked them if they knew something I didn't.
Well, there was a roofing company here in Indiana was just advertising double lifetime warranties. Think about that. And it's like, how, wow, what a great warranty.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think how you collect on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, really.
that's it. That's it.
There's some weird stuff out there.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's a competitive market. You're looking for every every benefit every advantage you can get, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, oh, well.
So what is happening? What is happening at Brodex? I was concerned after John had passed that the company might dissolve.
The company is doing extremely well.
Yeah, I gather that.
Yeah, the COVID thing, frankly, has been a boon to modeling companies is what it
Mhm.
amounts to. And then now that we're mostly past it, it seems to be continuing on.
Oh, that's good.
John
That's
had
good.
good business people in place and stuff.
Mhm.
So his business, all the businesses, the groceries and everything like that are doing well. But the
Right.
model business is actually one of it's like some of the the last couple of years have been some of the strongest years they've ever had.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I really am.
Yeah. And, Sandy.
You know,
is
I
just
joke a
running the
lot
business.
about John and I being competitors, but he was a boon to our hobby. He really was.
Well, it's kind of funny. There was a post on Stunthanger this last week. Somebody coming back says, "Hey, where do I go for kits and stuff like that?" And all I could think of is that, my time associated with the hobby. I don't know that we have ever had, two kit companies that were so spectacularly good. I mean, you've never
Yeah.
been able to buy at any time. You've never been able to buy
Yeah.
the equivalent of a RSM or a Brodak kit, laser cut. Dead accurate, beautifully selected wood and everything like that. Shake the box a few times and the completed airplane comes out. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
and with the laser cutting and everything like that, every single one of them is good. And then
Yeah.
plus, I think both companies have an outstanding reputation for standing behind their products and stuff.
Mhm.
So it's not
Yeah.
just the kits, it's the, the accessories and everything
The
like that.
the whole line of products. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, the whole process.
that's what you have to do.
And, Keith's beautiful tanks and everything like that, that's a beautiful piece of work, but frankly, I've gone off the deep end on all of that, and I like the kind of tanks I'm using now.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I think it's a darn good time to be getting into the hobby, you can literally go out and you can buy a successful power plant. It's
Yeah.
not a question of learning how to run it.
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
question of putting the pieces together.
Yeah.
And, I don't know that we've ever had that on the scale that we have now.
Well,
And,
Bob Hunt made a comment to me, years back now. He says, everybody talks about the good old days. He said, they're now.
mhm.
And when you think about it, your comment about the kits, God, I remember Gillo's kits back in the old days and Sterling kits and, the die smash stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You can't even begin to compare them to today's kits.
No,
I think John Herr, when he came out with laser cutting, that opened my eyes big time. I mean, I looked at that and went, oh my God, I don't care what a laser costs, I'm going to get one. Because
mhm.
before that, we were cutting everything by hand.
Well,
Or
it
die
was funny,
cutting it, and
there
to
was
die
a
cut,
time
good
there, I was
the-
actually doing kit reviews for RCM magazine, and I was reviewing the new Great Plains Sea Fury scale model. Beautiful airplane and everything like that. And Great Plains kits were extremely well executed and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just made a point of, I pointed out the fact that, gee, the only thing that's keeping it from being a really superior kit is it's not laser cut.
Yeah.
And I did hear from the Great Plains folks on that. Not too,
I bet you they
not
weren't
too
too
snarly
happy.
or anything
Yeah.
like that, but I think from a manufacturer standpoint, the fact that you can cut out exactly what you need,
Yeah.
for your inventories and your orders and stuff, especially in the control line business, which does kind of ebb and flow, and,
Right.
popular kits and some kits go, you don't have to sit there with your printing press die cut machine,
Yeah.
right? And make 100 kits and hope to hell you sell them. And otherwise
just-
you carry the inventory forever.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, well, Dennis, just from a capital expenditure, an upfront capital expenditure. If you were getting dies made just to do a set of ribs,
yeah,
on say a Thunderbird, for example.
yep.
I don't care if it's the one or the two, they're basically virtually the same wing. I mean, you're talking $4,000 up front.
Mhm.
I mean, when I sold RSM, I think I had 98 kits in my line.
Mhm.
I mean, good Lord, I couldn't have afforded to do 3 of them
Yeah.
if we'd had to die cut them.
Yep.
But with a laser, you could do onesie twosies if you wanted to. I mean,
Yeah.
it was crazy to do that, but
Well, yeah,
it's easier to do a half a
you
dozen
got
or a
the
dozen
ultra
than one or
specialist,
two.
I mentioned, we got people like Walter Umlin,
Mhm.
who unfortunately is slowing down. It doesn't sound like he's going to be making any more kits, but he was filling that niche for the ultra specialized, fabulous kits, and he was making them typically, he was making them in very, very small runs and stuff
Yep.
like that. And as a cottage industry, he could afford to do that.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, like, are you kidding? I'm gonna go die cut a kit run of 12 kits. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember when the
well, I'm gonna
guys,
sit there and I'm gonna find a way to print all the wood out so you can cut it
Yeah.
out.
yeah,
Are you kidding me?
yeah. Or remember
So-
when the guys in Fruitland Park, Florida were running kits? I can't remember the name of the company now, but they'd do any kit you wanted. And they do onesie twosies, and they were all hand cut. And some of them were really quite good, and others of them, I referred to them as beer cuts, because obviously they hadn't worried about staying within the lines that they drew.
Mhm.
And although their wood was absolutely superb and their hardware was superb, you just didn't get the quality of the airplane that, you know, you can buy now from Rodak or from any of the guys who have laser cutting.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know, I mean, it's just the high level of quality is just unsurpassed in my opinion, from what we've had before. You know,
Okay, and you ask about Brodak. I want to go back a little bit differently. I went to, well, John died, I believe, in March of one year, and they had a memorial for him in September. I went there that September and went to the memorial. And at that time, talking to Buzz, she made it pretty clear she had never, that she had it up to here with the airplane. She didn't want any more contests or anything. Her backyard was getting overgrown and stuff like
Right.
that, which actually kind of surprised me that she'd let that happen. But at any rate, that was that. And apparently she had a change of heart in just, the past 6 months or so. I think there was some, they had talked about trying to run something at the, other sites around there and try to get people there and stuff. The Brodak fly-in was a huge boon for the local businesses, of course, little town of what, 1,400 people or something like that. You get
Oh, sure.
250, airplane people there for a week. It, makes a mark. And I think some of that came into play, but she got a hold of Will Davis and Mark Wise, who've been, basically running the last several, and said they were willing to keep running it. She said, well, go ahead and do it. So
that's fantastic. I mean, I think that's great.
yeah,
think that's great.
officially, it said it'll be just like it's always been, but they used to call it the Brodak, the fly-in number, last one, number
Right.
23. And this one, I don't know how subtle it is. It's the John Brodak Memorial. All right.
Oh, that's good. That's proper. my
Yeah.
opinion.
So I don't know. I've ever since, John said he was going to shut it down at number 20. Ever since then, I've considered every one to be the last one, if you
Sure.
will.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there'll be another one next year. I ain't worried about next year. I'm just worried about, 10 days from now.
Right.
And so, and then enjoy the heck out of it. It is a lot of fun.
It's a lot of work too.
It is. It
I
is.
mean, it's a lot of work to put on a contest.
Yeah, John's people, all the people there really work hard for it, and they open up the factory, of course, for people to come in and
Mhm.
doing little impromptu tours all the time and
Oh,
stuff.
sure.
The hobby shop is fun. There are going to be, and now they got the museum that everybody is, everybody who's seen it has been blown away by it. And
Mhm.
I saw it when it was about maybe 5% finished, and you could see there were a lot of good things there, and then there were a
Right.
lot of pallets full of things,
Boxes
stuff.
unopened. Yeah.
Yeah, and now that's going, I understand that's all been fixed and everything like that, and so I can hardly wait. So
Oh, that's good. That sounds wonderful. I mean, it really does. I'm so happy to hear that it's going to continue because, I think it makes a big difference to the hobby overall.
Oh, yeah.
well, I think it's good. I think it was kind of one of those double-edged things. It's like, John was building this beautiful museum and stuff, but how many people are going to go to a place like Carmichael's, Pennsylvania to go to a control line model airplane museum? You know what I mean? It's just,
The people who go to the
yeah.
contest will.
And,
And just
if
think of the amount of just tax base that goes into Carmichael just from room taxes.
Yep.
in
Oh, yeah.
hotels.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's got to be a massive influx into their economy.
And the restaurants,
Oh,
eateries.
Lord, yes. I mean, I'm so old, I remember I could go to a contest 500 miles away for a weekend. It cost me $200.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, now it costs that in gas,
Yeah, the gas is gonna cost me more than
I
that.
mean, it's
Yeah, it's going to be
ridiculous.
almost, well, we're not quite $5 a gallon yet, but we'll be there anytime. So,
Hey,
Well, we got another week, so
yeah,
it's-
that's
Hold your
it.
pocket
We're at
full.
489
it's
right
real
now.
easy to
so.
figure out. if we're
Let me,
producing
say-
1 million barrels of gas a day, less than we need, then the cost is gonna go up.
Let me interrupt for
Yeah.
a second. Let me say hi to Brendan. Hey, Brendan, thanks for
Hey.
coming in.
Hey,
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 Brendan.
how we doing, fella?
Doing well. Is that
Sorry
you
if
making that
there's a lot of
beeping?
tape. Yeah, that's me. Like, I just pulled up my Chromebook and it's given all these like updates piling
Okay,
in.
all right,
I haven't opened this in a while.
all righty. Well, you
Brendan,
can-
what motor
you can
did you
mute
end
your
up putting
mic.
in your?
Hold on. Y'all have disappeared now. There you are. Okay.
You're still
What's that?
Still here.
What
What'd you ask,
motor did
Phil?
you end up putting in your
My twister?
the twister? Yeah,
Um,
I noticed you put that pretty front end on it.
yeah, we're
Oops.
Oops.
Oh,
yeah,
that's sharp.
almost knocked one there. It was did go with an Exceed rocket. That's what it's called, kind of an off-brand of stuff. It's a 3020. It's an 860 kV.
30-20. Wow, you got plenty
That's
of
a lot
power.
of motor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had kind of tooled around with a couple of different motors that we had on our other twister. And this is the one I came up with that kind of worked best with that twister and the batteries I had. So,
Okay.
Hey, show that off a little bit. You used the 2022 box, didn't you? Woohoo!
yeah,
That looks good.
Yeah, looks
Damn,
good.
that's a good piece of work. Oh,
yeah. This thing's been a learning thing for Angstrom and I on pretty much every bit of it, because I think I put stick built a, what was it? It was a lightning streak. But outside of that, like, this has been, a learning curve on every bit of it. But yeah, I got the 2020 box on there. Have not put an ESC on it yet, or obviously prop or whatnot. But tonight I was going to get to some of the control system and then put a landing gear on it, and we're in good shape.
Looks good.
Sounds
indeed.
good.
Yeah.
Y'all don't believe
I
in
don't-
over practicing before a contest, I take it.
What's that?
You don't believe in over practicing before a contest. I mean,
Yeah,
today's the third,
Yeah.
It's-
You know what? We're not going to be using this for Brodax.
oh, shucks.
But and I don't see John on here, but we'll be using our Pathfinder that we've traditionally.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
And what's great about the Pathfinder, going on about it, is that it fits the nostalgia category for us too. So we'll fly a
Oh,
profile,
okay.
the Pampa and the nostalgia, so that Angstrom doesn't have to bounce around between planes. And that's one of the reasons I actually got into some twister kits too, is because the Fantrize twister plan would fit nostalgia as well. And so we
Oh,
were
yeah.
just looking at stuff that we could fly one plane for multiple events and
Mhm.
get our experience in. So that's
Yeah, I had not thought about Pathfinder fitting into nostalgia, but it does, doesn't it? Huh.
it
How about
does, because I think I was reading on mine and I got, I'm learning names. Was it Gordon that?
Yeah.
Gordon Delaney.
Delaney.
Okay. Yeah, he weighed in straight up on a Stunthanger post that I think he started it in 87. I think it was 87 and then tinkered with it for a couple of years. So
Yeah,
sounds like
sounds about right.
it fits the nostalgia.
Well, I'm building the swept wing version of it. I hope it flies as good as the straight wing, because I have the straight wing with a 51 and I really like it.
Yeah.
Mine was built by someone else, and it's not something I will fly in competition because I didn't build it. But the one I'm building, I'll sure fly in competition. And the new one's electric, where the other one's Tiger 51.
Mhm.
So
Hey,
it's
Howard.
a great.
Sorry,
Howard's in the
Phil.
house.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Howard,
Oh.
thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. And we have Eric Rule in the house.
Hi, Eric.
Hey, how are you, sir?
Lovely.
Haven't seen you since November.
Right.
Yeah, it was great meeting you up there.
Nice meeting you,
Yeah,
sir.
had a lot of fun.
Hey, Charles, as I'm about to throw this control system on, I think you said something a couple of weeks ago that kind of caught my ear because I'm about to do the same thing. So I'm using a carbon fiber push rod. I think you said something like you shorten that 2 5/8 short of what you gave some dimensions to it, like rule of thumb for like how long you make it compared to what you're trying to get.
Yeah, there's a Dave Saban referred me to this instruction by Tom Morris, and I'm trying to find it. And Tom Morris, let me see here. He actually shows. I just had it. Let's see. Is this it? Yeah, Tom's building thing here.
All right.
Oh, Tom's building.
Tom's building tips.
Tips, yeah.
And someone has an extra tab open, I think.
Not me.
Not you, Mike. How you doing,
Hey,
Mike?
Mike.
I'm good. I just joined, but I don't have any tabs open.
Okay, no problem, Mike. We have Eric Rule in the house.
I've been watching.
That's right. You met Eric at the Las Vegas Stunt Challenge.
Yeah, my son kept him in the tank business back when Sam was learning to fly. We were buying tanks from Eric all the time.
And we appreciated it.
Yeah.
Well, Eric said something about building 1,000 or so tanks, so I guess it all comes into focus now. So
Yeah, we were buying a bunch of snub nose profile Uniflow tanks. Man, we must have went through 50 of those things when Sam was learning.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a ways to go then, huh?
Yeah, you got a ways to go.
Yeah.
Big Chris is in the house tonight.
Hey, Chris, welcome. Thanks for coming in, you guys.
We went flying today. Sam and I took our half-A's, our Brodak half-A's out, and all I can say is I think we're going to be in the game.
All right.
I don't want to let too much more out of the bag, but we are both flying half-A's with cyclones on them, and we are running 60-foot lines on our airplanes and getting 4.5-second laps.
Wow.
They fly like
60 foot?
60 foot. They fly like 15s. They like, they're
Wow.
15 sized airplanes, but they got cyclones on them. So,
Yeah. Turning 36,000 RPM probably.
Yeah. We went out 2 days ago and had some initial testing. We had some warpage, some problems. One needed a trim tab, and our lines we were flying 55s and they were way too short. So came back and I made some 60s today, and we got the warps out, and now it's just a matter of fine tuning handle spacing and throw on the elevator. So, but they're going to be there.
Gracious.
Yeah.
Gracious.
Of course,
4.5 seconds on 60-foot lines on a 049.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna sit and watch. I want to watch this.
Indeed.
Yeah, I might make up a pair of 62s and see if I can get closer to 5 seconds. The only issue that I can see is if it's really windy the day we fly, that could be a problem flying them out that far. But if it's good weather, they'll hang out on the lines, no problems. But if it's windy, we can always go back to the 55s and just fly like 3.75 second laps and just fly them like combat planes. We can still do the pattern at that speed, both of us. So
Yeah.
it's not a problem.
Bob Barron used to fly his little plane. I can't remember what it was called. His little 049. He used to fly it like that, and it was hard to judge him because the plane was so dang fast. You couldn't tell what it did. So I started holding my pencil up and watching, and I judged him down. He come over and he asked me, "Why did you judge me so much lower than the other guy did?" I said, "Well, I put a pencil up and you missed your intersections."
Yeah, I kept blowing them.
Yeah, it was so dang fast that you could hardly see it. But if you put something up there to reference it, you could see it, and you're missing your intersections. And Bob said something that surprised me. He says, "Damn, finally somebody's honest with me." And turned around and walked off. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
So Everybody
So
thought
we-
he was going to fuss and scream, but he just said, somebody's finally honest with me. And that was it.
We had something else interesting happen today. Yesterday, we went flying with some guys over to a different part of Nashville, and Sam piled in his Vector.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
He said I didn't have any control, and I walked up to the airplane. You know, he drove that thing straight into the dirt like a fence post out of the reverse wing over. He never pulled out of the reverse wing. He just drove it straight in the ground. And he said, I didn't have control, but I know what happened. He had a group of guys, group of RC guys watching him. There was a guy filming him with a drone, and he was out there showing off, and he just got behind it because he goes, Dad, I had no control. I had no down. And it broke the nose right off the front of the airplane. I picked up what was left, and I moved everything smooth as butter, as smooth as the day I built it.
Oh,
you know,
busted.
like, listen, man, just admit it. You got behind it, and you drove it in. So anyway, that's the plane he was going to fly at Brodax for Pampa
Snap.
that he's been practicing on. So I stayed up till 12:30 last night, got the nose back on it, kind of messing around with it. Didn't get it quite finished. We went out and flew today, and he says, can I take your SV11 and try that? Because, you know, I got the new Caravelle now with the PA75 in it. Well, long story short,
Thank you, Big. Hang on.
I took my AMA number off it, and this is now Sam's airplane.
Oh, wow, how nice. Great. You're a great dad. Awesome dad.
That's his AMA number.
Awesome.
He put up 3 flights on it today. And this is it's just a Brodak R SV11, but it's got a PA65 in it. And I didn't think his little skinny butt was going to be able to hold on to it because he's only 100 pounds. But he flew 3 patterns on it, and he did really well with it. And we actually have some drone video that Chris shot with this drone. And I want to show this not because just Sam's flying, but this drone he's got, he can park this thing. And when you rewatch the video, how Phil was just talking about putting up a pencil or whatever, you can put this right on your intersections and see if you're missing them or hitting them or overshooting. And the quality of the video is really good, and the camera is so steady. So Charles, I'd like to share that if I could.
Go ahead. There's no sound, right? Because it's a drone video.
No, yeah, there's not going to be any sound in it. How do I get that? This one? Can I do that? Is that going to let me?
Yeah, I think you need to open it possibly, and then
I got to open it first. All right, give me a second to figure this out, Charles.
Okay, no problem. Hey, Brendan,
Yeah,
by the way,
just let you know.
I'm reading here, and you want to have like a 1/2 inch insertion
This
into
one?
the push rods, right?
Oh, wait, it was,
And then you subtract 2 inches and 5/8. 2 5/8 inches.
That one.
Over the whole length of it. So yeah,
That's
then-
correct.
Okay.
hold up.
Is this in Tom's building book?
Yeah.
Tips.
Yeah, it's in
I'll
his,
go read it then. Rather than taking notes, I'll just go read it in the book. I have that book.
Well, you could do the same thing and cut 1 5/16 off each end.
Mhm.
All right, I'm ready, Charles.
You ready? I mean, you should be good. Go ahead.
All right, are you seeing that screen right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to push play, and then it's going to take a minute for this little bar to get out of the way. There it goes. So this is Sam's 3rd flight, so don't expect miracles with it. He's still feeling the airplane out. But I just want to highlight, when he gets set up with this drone and locks in, it doesn't move. I mean, it's just rock solid right there. So you can stick a pencil up and really check your intersections really well, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, he bobbled that reverse. It's hard to see, what's going on from ground perspective from this
Well, as you
view.
guys get better, he'll lower the drone and you can get a better perspective.
Yeah, I need a better cameraman. I need a better drone operator, right?
Just give him time. It's the learning curve.
That's our little RC park that we fly at.
I feel so bad for you.
You're
So
breaking my
nice.
heart.
Yeah, $0 a year in dues. It's
And how far is this from your house?
about 20 minutes.
Oh,
You're
man.
breaking my heart. That's
Yeah, I
closer to
know.
Hobby Park.
I know you're gonna. I'm sure Keith has lots of sympathy for you.
Well, and altitude makes a bit of difference too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know what we're at here in Tennessee. What are we at, Chris? Do you know?
Yeah, 480.
480. is
Oh,
what
you should go take your plane over there, Keith. Just go to Tennessee, and you can do the
No,
whole
come to North
pattern.
Carolina. Come on back to Winston-Salem, Keith. You've been here before.
What's
Yeah.
what sea level you at there?
I don't remember what sea level is. I'll look it up. I'll know next time, but I don't know tonight. I think it's I
About
think it's
zero.
2,800. I think we're at 2,800, something like that.
Well, it's too high. You can go to
field
Vegas
is,
and be better than that.
our
But
field's
Escondido is only 700.
our field's just the base of the mountains, and it's about 6,000 feet. And then when the
Oh, good
temperature gets
grief.
up 80, 90 degrees, it's more like pressure density is more like 7,000 feet.
Oh yeah.
Well,
there's
Keith, you
no-
are in the Mile High City. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Density, altitude. Yeah. Well, I think he's got a long way to go with this airplane yet, but I was really surprised. You know, he's a $104 in weight, and that's a 65 PA 65 in that airplane. So he's doing pretty good. He
How
didn't
much is-
complain.
How much is the plane weigh? I mean, all up, all wheels.
That
up.
one's 66 ounces.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, see, like right there, he's missing his intersections on his squares. And when we watched this video, I was showing it to him, and he's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna have Chris out there doing more drone video for it. I want him to video me when I'm flying, so I can learn from it.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
but I think it's a really neat perspective, man. You know,
Oh, it
everybody
is.
hates drones. Everybody's hating on the drone guys all the time, but well, I see it as a useful tool for PA aerobatics if you're trying to find your mistakes. You know, he really butchers this hourglass, but that was actually the first one he ever did with it because he didn't do an hourglass on the first two flights. I think we're about done. What do we got? Overhead eights.
Overhead eights.
And the clover. Yeah, he was way off on his entry there. He's all sideways coming into it. But again, I was able to show him that and be like, look, you weren't right over the top when you started that. And for Dennis, we've got the new entry to the clover. I know you love it, Dennis.
I do. I really do. Flew 6 more this morning, and it's such an improvement the way the whole maneuver presents.
Climbing in between.
Yeah. I can just see all his mistakes. That's what's helping me.
Oh yeah.
Help him, you know. So anyway, that's that.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. So I was referencing this book by Tom
Morris.
Tom Morris. Let me spotlight the book here.
That's
Tom's
it. Yeah.
Building Tips. And don't know how much it costs, but get in contact with Tom.
About $9.95, I think.
Tom Morris. Is he still? I know he sold his business to Oki Air. I don't know if he's still.
He's still building airplanes though for people.
Okay.
Wonder if it's so do you know if he's still publishing it or if he sold?
I think
don't
he still
recall
got some
it.
copies. He did last time I talked to him.
Okay.
Because 2 of the guys locally wanted one. They kept borrowing mine. I didn't know because my stuff keeps disappearing when y'all pass it around.
Yeah.
So I told them about it, and they both got a copy.
I know what you mean. Do you know if how's Tom doing these days?
The last I talked to him, he has slowed down a little bit, but he says he's still going. He's gonna keep going until he can't go anymore.
And he's still
He
building.
scared me
airplanes,
right
huh?
bad because his heart stopped on him at a restaurant, and the defibrillator had to bring him back. And the doctor said that from what I talked to him and I guess I should have talked to his wife or something, but I talked to him and I said, "How are you doing?" And I don't mean, "Oh, I'm fine." How are you doing? And he said that the doctor said his heart's just worn out, but he's doing the best he can. He doesn't. He said, "I don't walk as far as or as fast as I used to, but I'm still trying to stay in some kind of shape, just trying to keep going." And he's in good spirits, or he was when I talked to him. And he's just Tom. Tom doesn't change. He's just a great guy.
I didn't
Just
get
a
the
really
full
great
name.
guy.
You talking about Tom Morris, or who are you talking about?
Tom
Yeah.
Morris.
Really? Oh, okay.
He is still building. He says he's got, I think he said he had 12 more airplanes to build for other people that he's already taken orders for. And I didn't even ask him about the one he's supposed to do for me. I did, actually, there's two of them. Anyway, I didn't even ask him about them because I don't want to bother him. I think I can handle them when I get around to it. He was going to do a Genesis for me, but I don't think he's got time to do it now.
Remember after he had his heart attack and he recovered from it, people were, in Tom's words, he said, "People must think I'm going to die, so they're killing me with all these orders."
Well,
Yeah.
he builds a good airplane and he builds it for a decent price. And he's very, very meticulous.
Yeah.
He's come up with some ideas, especially that lightweight landing gear that he put in them. I just knew that landing gear could not hold up. There's no way that landing gear can hold up. But I flew that Cavalier for, I know, 10 years, and I gave it to Steve, and Steve, bless his heart, Steve can't land an airplane. He does not understand landing. And he comes in for landing, and the plane's 2 feet in the air, and it says, bam.
Wow.
And that gear never broke. But he finally tried to do a wing over into the wind, and that was the end of that airplane. The guy said there was a pile of powder, but he said they even broke the venturi out of the motor.
Whoa.
I have never seen one hit that hard, but
Yeah.
I wasn't there that day, but I'm glad I wasn't because I loved that airplane. It was a great airplane.
Yeah.
But they said when Steve ended that one, he really ended that one. I was okay. Well, that's where they're supposed to go rather than banged up in the basement. It's a damaged with hanger ice. You don't want to fly it. So, I had a chipmunk that got just destroyed. The people who were moving us had some people helping us move the last move we did, which was 30 years ago. But set something on top of my chipmunk. I said, "What are you, Crunch, doing?" "Oh, Lord." "Well, forget it now. Don't worry about it now." So
It's too
anyway,
bad.
yeah, it made me sick. But I've got another one now. I found a Jim Van Loo kit on eBay the other week and bought it, and I'll try to build that next winter, maybe. Hopefully have it for next summer, but we'll see.
That Van Loo chipmunk's a lot better than what the Sig chipmunk was.
Oh yeah, yeah. Foam wing and it's just bigger. It's bigger in some places.
Yeah.
The wingspan's a little different. I think the moments are different. I have not had a chance to really compare it. I have a CL3 downstairs as well, but I have not had a chance to actually put them both on the table and look at them. But just in looking at the Van Loo chipmunk, I think it's bigger.
It is. He placed one year at the Nats with that pretty high. Maybe not top 5, but he's in the top 10 with the Nats one year. So he built a good airplane and he flies it well. He is or was a nice guy. Is he still around? I don't know.
He was about 6 years ago. He was here at Huntersville about 6 years ago,
I think
but I have not heard since.
he died
Go ahead.
pretty recently.
Oh, shoot. I
Oh,
didn't
sorry
know
to hear
that.
that.
I did not know that.
Now, Eric, you had a chipmunk. What was that? The D Hill chipmunk?
Yeah, Joe Dills.
Joe Dills. Now, how'd that differ from the CL3?
Altogether different airplane.
Yeah, totally different. Yeah.
It's a good plane, though. I launched one at VSC for a guy, and I got to looking at it. Didn't know the guy from Adam's House Cat, and he says, "Well, here, fly it." "Are you nuts?" He says, "No, I've heard of you." I said, "I doubt that. You probably heard of the Phil Bailey from from Florida. But anyway, but he let me fly his airplane and it flew very well. I said, hey, give me 3 practice flights and I'll sign up and fly this thing. He says, no. I don't want to get beat by my own airplane. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But anyway, he was a very nice guy. I wish I could remember his name. It's in my notes in the picture somewhere. I've got a picture of the 2 of us together holding the plane and his name and all with it. But I'll have to go try to find that photo album and look it up. I had a lot of fun at VSC, talking to some people that were really neat people. Tom Lay, George Aldrich, you know, poor George fell out of his chair. He was trying to watch somebody fly and he was under an awning and he tried to lean too far and fell out of his chair. Scared us. I thought he'd had a seizure or something and fallen out of the chair. I was running over to help him up. And he just, no, darn it, I tried to lean too far. But he was a neat
Brent
guy.
Williams in the house. Thank you, Brent, for coming in.
Hey guys.
Hey, Brent, good to see you.
How you doing, Brent?
Doing all right. I had bad experience yesterday with Gordon Delaney. He chopped his finger up real bad. So
no,
who did?
what happened?
Gordon Delaney did? Gordon did?
we were out test flying his new twin.
Oh,
He forgot there was a second prop. Hey, Brent, good to see you.
So yeah, it's pretty nasty on his right hand. It got all of his fingers and his thumb.
oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that.
It took a chunk this big out of his finger down to the bone. So it's
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, it's terrible. I was just watching a video of Gordon flying, I think at the 2004 Nats. And I'm so sad to hear that.
yeah, I think he goes in to see a hand specialist Tuesday or something like that. So it'd be nice if they could get him in faster.
That's something I can't understand. It used to, when you had an accident like that, they got you right in to see it. But now with modern medicine, can you come back 2 weeks from Tuesday?
Yeah. In fact, they had him sitting in the emergency room for hours almost or something. He's like, I'm in a lot of pain here. Can someone please help me? So,
Yeah. Yeah, that happened last summer. I got an infection in 2 of my toes. I'm diabetic. So, you know, you get infection or, you know, things, when bad things happen in your feet, that normally gets a lot of attention. And so I went to the walk-in clinic and they sent me to the emergency room. And the emergency room, you know, they hemmed and hawed, where they sent me home and they said, check back with your doctor, you know, in 2 days, you know, just follow up with your doctor. So, okay. So I go to make the follow up with the doctor and they say, well, we can see you in a month. I says, hey, in a month, I might not have a foot, you know, come on, you know. And I just kept raising, you know, making noise with them. And they finally referred to somebody from, you know, out of a different practice and everything like that, you know, somebody outside the group, if you will. They were able to get me right in and they took care of me. But
wow.
But yeah, Phil, you're exactly right. I mean, this was, you know, not necessarily you know, something like Gordon just went through, but given the fact that I'm diabetic and stuff, it could have got really bad really fast.
You don't mess with
they didn't have
diabetic
time
feet.
for me.
that's lose your feet type stuff, lose your legs.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
Well, it's a funny kind of thing because my neuropathy and my feet and everything like that, my foot looked like hell and I couldn't feel any of it.
I remember you showed it to us, Dennis. You showed it to us, maybe in the after party or maybe on the regular live stream. I don't remember, but I remember seeing it.
Yeah, that was, I'd forgotten about that, but
You don't
yeah,
wanna
it made everybody, it grossed everybody out on the show that night, but.
You don't want to mess with that stuff. I had a cousin, he got infection, he's diabetic, got infection in his foot, started turning black, and they cut off some toes, and they cut off his foot, and then they cut off his leg, and then he died.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is don't stick your hand in 13,000 RPM engines with APC props. So
APC props? Oh, yes. I don't even like turning or flipping APC props.
Well, I ran into one of those with my middle finger on the right hand in Las Vegas last fall.
Yep.
But it only took, I think, 12 stitches. Dennis, I think you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I noticed it's healing up pretty nice. That black spot has been shrinking. So I noticed it. I didn't say anything earlier, but I noticed it.
Well,
I'll
what
tell
I
you what.
recall is that you had flown the MB5 and the next day you had a great big bandage on your hand and everything like that. And that basically precluded any more flights on the MB5.
Yeah.
You were able to still fly the big job, weren't you?
Yeah. And, we brought home, I think, a 3rd or 5th place trophy. I forget which.
Yeah, yeah.
Big job? You didn't fly your Madman?
No. Man, I just use that for VSC when I fly ignition. And it's almost
Oh, it's
unfair.
ignition. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
It's almost unfair competition when you get the ignition points with that airplane. Because
Well, yeah, that is a great airplane.
it's a good airplane, and then you throw on another 10 or I forget 10 points or 20 points for the ignition. Like I say,
Yeah.
it becomes unfair competition.
Well, that's why I'm building my new electric old timer with a brushed motor, so I can call it I can fly it in Sparky. So that's it. Hey, you can even see my motor sparking. Come on, guys.
Oh my goodness.
That's not quite the same.
Yeah, what,
Dennis.
you think
Okay.
you think I might get some pushback on that, huh? So
Uh-huh.
Well,
If
I would
I'm
never,
a judge, you're going to get some pushback.
I would never say anything. I would
Yeah.
just go make a couple comments to the judges.
I
So
would just turn around and walk the other way.
well, hey, I flew the flying wing at I think it was at Brodak, and they, of course, the elevator's right on the wing, and
Mhm.
somebody says, "Oh, well, hey, do you get? Looks like you got to pay the flap penalty." I says, "Yeah, but don't I get the no elevator bonus then? Come on."
Yeah, yeah. That thing is so big when it goes over. You think there's an eclipse
Yeah.
every 5.5 seconds or 5.25 seconds. That's a huge airplane, but it is so neat to watch fly.
It is fun to fly. So
Yeah, I saw it
Yeah.
fly I was there in 2016. I saw it fly.
okay.
Dadgummit, I was too. I didn't get to. We probably met each other, saw each other.
I
didn't
know. I
each
can't
other.
believe I didn't meet you, and I can't believe I didn't meet Lynn. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You want to show us something, Mike?
I actually got a question for you guys. I need some help identifying this.
Take
It's an
my
airplane.
thing.
When we were over at the
Airplane.
field yesterday, this guy Greg Doe, he's an old pylon guy, but he flies a little bit of control line too. And he picked this up for Sam at a swap meet like 2 years ago during COVID. And this is the first chance we've had to see him. And he gave it to him yesterday. It's obviously a Mustang, right?
Yeah.
But it's sheeted foam wing. I can tell just by
It
feeling it.
looks like the SIG. It looks like the SIG.
I don't
Mustang.
know. The SIG is completely different from this. It has a different top block and canopy, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know.
I think the SIG kit has a plastic top.
It does
Yeah.
have a plastic top, but a lot of us replaced that piece of junk with a piece
Yeah.
of wood.
But it did have a foam wing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, did it?
Right. Yeah, it had a sheeted foam wing. That's what I thought at first, that it was the SIG, but I think
Yeah,
it's too small. It
Yeah,
looks,
It could
the
be a
SIG was
Silverlink.
around 500 square inches, I think. It was smallish.
okay.
That could be a Silverlink because that looks like the fuselage looks like it's flat bottom. Yeah, it is. No, it isn't either.
No, it's
Flat in
rounded.
front. It's rounded. It's rounded in the back.
It's rounded. It's got
That looks like that might be the Silverlink. It doesn't. The scoop on the bottom doesn't flow in like a SIG did, unless
much does it
somebody
weigh?
just modified that too.
somebody.
That looks like-
Yeah. It's got a
Looks like it could be a
McCoy.
Sil-
It's got a McCoy 40 in it, so obviously
Wow.
we'll be getting rid of that because I'm sure it's junk. Um,
Necessarily.
Fly it
Not-
first.
Not necessarily.
It's a porker too. But anyway, I just wanted to know if anybody knew whose it was or what it was.
There's too darn many of those to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody made a Mustang at one point.
Hey,
Sterling had one, and SIG had one. Silverling had one out, and there's another kit too. There's two more kits
No.
right at that time.
It's going to go on the wall till after contest season. We'll get around to it then, I guess.
Don't sell the McCoy 40 short.
Okay.
No, don't. 'Cause they're good motors. Some of them, real
Some of
good
them,
motors.
yeah.
Got a question for you guys on guys that have built sheeted foam elevators. What's for you guys that have weighed them? What's a decent weight for like impact elevators?
Howard, you're up.
Where's Howard? I don't think he's here. Brent, he'll be back.
Okay.
He must
I
say.
did having my first experience with doing sheeted foam stab and elevator, and right now my elevators, the pair of them weigh 0.3 ounces. So I don't know if that's good or bad.
Wait, how much?
1.3.
Oh, I started to say first 3 ounces, something's wrong.
Yeah,
1.3,
I didn't hear the
okay.
1 point. I heard the 3.
Yes,
and
I heard
Yeah.
too.
I don't know. That doesn't sound too painful. That's a pretty good size
3
elevator
ounces
and
for the
stuff.
elevators? Yeah, that's painful because the stab's gonna weigh
Yeah,
5 more.
1.3 don't sound too bad though.
No, that don't sound bad at all.
Yeah.
So I pulled up Bob Hunt's tutorial on sheeting foam and went at it. So
Well, if there's anybody in the country that knows about sheet and foam, Bobby's it.
yeah, I've got some a couple of sets of wing cores here that are done up for his lost sheeting method. So
yeah,
Very nice.
I've got a friend here locally that has a CNC foam cutter, and it's pretty nice. I just tell him what I want, and bada bing, out comes some CNC cut hot wire.
And
Wow, nice.
that cuts without templates, right?
Yeah, it does. It's just it's a DXF file, and just
Wow. That'd be neat. I've got one I want to get cut like
oh,
that.
they're beautiful. They are. So
that was the worst part of making a foam wing, is making a really good set of templates that didn't hang up the
Yeah.
wire or anything like that. I always had a terrible
Nice.
time with that.
Oh, round nose and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, this
That's
is
nice.
this is for a smaller plane. This is like with the flaps, it's going to be about 430 squares. So just a little like 25 size plane. And
How does that lost sheeting work? What are you putting on
he
it?
uses an
Fiberglass or
external
what?
spar. He uses an external spar that I still need to cut into it, and then you cover it with carbon veil with tight bond. So you use tight bond thin 50/50, just wood glue, and
yeah.
And then that creates a hard candy shell. That's basically, and that's its own monocoque construction, basically. So, and then the flight loads are held by basswood 1/8 by 3/8 flat spar, and works awesome.
When you get that going and try one, how about come back on and tell the rest of us how to do it this winter?
Yeah.
I'd love to try that.
Well, the nice thing about it is, if you're not beholden to making the plane beautiful, because you're never going to make it. It's like his test bed twin, and his little twin that he's doing. We're done up that way. You can just get a plane going real fast, and it has all the performance you need. It's just, if it doesn't have to look beautiful, it'll fly just fine. But you're not gonna have a front row finish ever doing it this way. So if you are okay with that, then it's a good way to have a fun airplane. So
as lousy as I paint, I'm not going to be on the front row anyway.
So I've got some ones for a big plane here, like a 650 square plane that I'm going to do as well. So that's kind of fun.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Come back and tell us how to do it when you get it. After
I'll show
you've
you
done one.
see if this shows up here. Here's the plan that I drew up for it. I don't know if that.
Oh, I like that.
You drew that? Looks nice.
Yep.
I like that.
Mhm.
All right,
So-
now that you've showed us this eye candy, you are going to publish. Oh, I love the wheel pants. Look at
Well,
those wheel pants.
There's a funny story on the wheel pants on this. So I borrowed. So the one thing that I borrowed on this plane, it's got the canopy off of Jim Aaron's Sistrima.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
pull that off of Jim's plans. And then just for fun, I just dragged and dropped his wheel pants there just for a visual cue. But kind of funny. It's an impact in disguise is what it is. So it's a impact airfoil, and then it's the impact offset, the thrust line is 7/8 of an inch off of the wing, and the same thing. So it's
And that rudder reminds me of a T-Rex.
taller than that. The T-Rex is really stubby. But,
Well, just you get through with that. I wouldn't mind having a set of plans to that, if nothing else, just to add to my inventory. That's beautiful.
yeah, I want it it's like it's moving. I wanted it to have the impression of it just looks like it's going somewhere,
Yeah.
So
yeah, that is really sharp. You did well.
That's my carbon tube fuselage idea.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was going to ask you next.
Let's show you this here. So, oops, there we go.
There we go.
So it's a profile.
Yep.
Cool deal.
But it's as stiff as any full body, so it's So that's the construction method. Those carbon tubes. So.
What are you? How are you going to incorporate the top and bottom of the fuselage on that? What are you going to use for that?
Blue foam.
Oh, okay. Are you going to? I was thinking it was built up, not profile there for a moment. But I was thinking if you've got that guy who has a CNC foam cutter, you could do your top and bottom of the fuselage with the have them foam it, or have them cut the foam and then hollow out the inside for you as well.
So yeah, the rudder and everything is all going to be blue foam.
Yeah. And you're
That's
going to
gonna be
cover
sharp.
that with the carbon fiber?
Oh yeah, I'll cover it with carbon fiber or with newsprint. Newsprint does just as well for zero cost, basically. So
right, right.
As long as you're basically just trying to make it, you're toughening it up a little bit. So
just so it doesn't twist on you.
So if Mike Lonkey's around,
he is.
You will appreciate this.
I recognize that bell crank.
So there we go. It's ready to go for the kids. So
awesome. We'll have a ball with it, man. I'm glad I could help you out.
I wanted you to know that it got put to use. So
excellent.
So anyway,
little airplane.
Different method of going about things, but kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for showing us.
Really slick. Yeah, I like that design. That really is pretty.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's basically an impact in disguise. I bought a sheeted foam wing, impact wing from Tom Dixon. So I'm making the stab and elevator myself. It's just a flat stab. So that's, as far as venturing into sheeted foam, that's probably the easiest method is with a flat stab. So.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what, getting one from Tom Dixon and get it already sheeted and all. If you get a semi kit from him, you get an airplane that's about 2/3 built.
Yeah, I've got one of his Ringmaster 576s down here as well.
Yeah.
There, so
yeah, that's
one up, painted up like my dad's Ringmaster that he had back when I was a little boy. So
yeah,
it'll be Cub yellow and Curtis blue, if I can find a decent analog for Curtis blue. That I think it was Pactra or Aerogloss or somebody.
It's probably Aerogloss back then.
Yeah, so
because Pactra was crap even back then. I mean, I shouldn't say that, but Pactra was terrible. It took 10 coats to get it to pop.
We're going to do a really simple. It says just simple block. It's got big blue panel in the middle of the wing, but we're just going to do it up as an ode to that one that started the control line fire for it all. So
I'll tell you what, those are neat planes though. We got a guy here, but
Tom Dixon's 576s. Have you ever flown one of them?
I have not flown it, but Buddy Barbie, one of the guys I fly with, has Tom's old airplane. In fact, the one he won Brodak with, and I have watched it fly many times. And I said, I asked him, how does it fly? He said, remember your Stinger. I said, yeah. He says, well, flies just like the Stinger. He said, it's just like flying stinger. I said, oh, that's all I needed to know. I'll build one. And
I will
says, "Build one."
probably do something a little different than the kit. He uses big 1/8 inch, like 5-ply doublers on the front of that thing. And man, that's a lot of doubler up there. So,
well, I took mine and cut the fuselage behind the wing, just cut it all out and put white foam in there
and sheeted
and
over.
then sheeted it. Yeah, sheeted over it. So it runs right into the sheeting in the front. But I cut the sheeting in the front down to, I think I've got 2 plies of 1/16. That's what I think's up there now. That 1/8 was, you're right. That was, mama, what is he thinking?
Yeah. Like,
this is heavy.
Maybe if you're putting a Tiger 60 up front on it for some reason, but
yeah,
not
that
with
46. That 46 is
setup.
about as smooth as anything you're going to run.
I might electrify it. I haven't decided yet, but
that's what I keep leaning toward. But
after another incident, you know, watching Gordon chop up his finger yesterday, it strengthened my resolve to electric. My other passion is guitar playing. You know, I make money doing it, so it's having a 13,000 RPM blender out there waiting to mincemeat my fingers is,
especially with a bologna slicer on it.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I tell you what, the electric seems to work real well on everything that I've seen anybody put it on. The only thing you might want to think about is extending the nose a little bit, because it is a much lighter setup than a IC motor. But 1 inch seems to be the magic number. I'm extending the nose on my Pathfinder by 1 inch and making it electric. Of course, I'm putting a huge motor on the front of it too, a Cobra 3015, or 3515, whatever it is. I forgot.
I have the world's ugliest electric Pathfinder right here. So look at that beaut.
Let me make it big. Hang on a second, Brent. Oh, I thought there was ugly.
Hey, it works. That's all that matters.
This is actually a really slick method for doing the battery compartment. So you get thin aluminum sheet and just make a little box like that.
Nice.
And
I had not thought about that. That's
it weighs nothing. It literally weighs nothing. And it's just using centrifugal force to hold it in. And it's way, way lighter than anything you could do out of wood. And Roger Kramer here does this method, and he turned me on to it. It's awesome. So
yeah, it looks neat.
So
looks good.
Yeah.
What motor do you have in it?
The Cobra 2826.
Yeah.
So plenty of power, I'll tell you that. Oh my gosh,
that's probably what I should put on mine. Dennis, what do you have? What do you have on your single engine one? And what did you use on
I have an
Movest?
Arrow in 2820, which is power wise, it's like a 2826 Cobra. But hey, the Pathfinder flies with an 11-inch prop. You want to put a 3515, great. You got a motor that'll turn a 13-inch prop, and you're never going to use it. All right.
No, you're never going to use it. You got a 2820?
Yeah.
I might actually step this one back to a Cobra 2820. I let Gordon fly it a week ago in some heavy wind. He's like, that thing is so nose heavy.
That's it. I'm at the point, and Phil just talked about lengthening the nose and stuff like that. One thing I have done on a lot of airplanes is I will use the motor to balance the airplane. And sometimes that means I will have an oversized motor just because I need the weight up front. And it's the neat thing about electrics is you put an oversized motor on, it still runs the same speed no matter what prop you put on it and everything like that.
Maybe I'll put a 2826 in it then. Then I don't have to build that new front end.
Yeah.
There you go, Denny. Now you're big.
And I already have a 2826.
Now the Arrow in 2820 was special because it's actually a 30 millimeter core, not a 28. So they actually behaved about one size bigger than what they are. But even here, it's an 11.5.5 prop on it. And, not much to it. I thought John Miller was going to be here. That's why I had it close. I'm just bringing this one back into service.
I know he is going to get his modem soon. I thought he would have his modem and router by now.
Yeah. With this setup, I had the 11.5.5 on it, and it just didn't have any drive at all.
Mhm.
and it chewed through a lot of battery. So I used a 12.6 and cut it down to an 11. And the
I'm
battery
flying that on my Mobest right now, and that's a ton of thrust. All right. And I've always flew this with the 11 5.5, but it's going to get a clip 12.6 too.
Yeah, the battery consumption went way down, and the drive, it just powers a lot better. So I think it might be the stiffness of the prop, because the cut down 12.6 is a lot stiffer of a prop
an
than the
APC?
11.5 is. Yeah.
Is that an APC? Okay.
Yep. So
And you say
I
that's a
used the 12.6,
2820.
and like he says, clip it to 11. I just basically square tipped it. And
That's what I did
in the
too.
past, I've angled them and stuff. I don't think it's worth it. I
I
just
just
square tipped
rounded
it.
mine over like a hot dog. I just clipped it to that, and
Yeah.
then balanced it, and
Took
it
the
was
burr off of it. And
it was
whatever.
shocking how much more drive it had and how much less battery it used. I was shocked. So
Dennis, is that
And
a new
I guess-
Pathfinder, Dennis?
This
Cha-ching.
is the Pathfinder I actually built in 2009. It was
That thing
one of
looks
the
beautiful.
the original test bed when we were trying to pick motors for Brodak and stuff. And it was damaged. I had to rebuild the nose on it. And basically, the canopy is extended back. What you see is canopy here is now
Yeah.
16th plywood. And there's
Oh,
another
okay.
piece on, below the wing where the landing gear mounts. And that's repairing, let's just say the front end had a hinge in it that wasn't supposed to be there. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is
So
a
it doesn't
pretty
have a
plane.
hinge in it anymore.
I
And
was
then the
so
other
helped
thing
it.
I did since I was doing all of that is I rebuilt the controls. All right.
Uh-huh.
And this is the technique I've been using on any of the later airplanes I've been building, where I run everything right off the same push rod, off the same pivot,
Right.
which
right.
means I can use a longer horn at the elevator and stuff like that. And the overall control authority seems to be stronger, more
I'll have to try
certain.
that.
Yeah.
I've been
You
meaning to try
just
that.
one
I
off
have-
one side of it and the other off the other side of it.
Yeah.
We can take your
let's
word for it.
I like that. I've always liked the tail dragger look on that one with the wheel
Okay.
pants. It looks
That's
sharp.
slick.
Yeah, very pretty, Dennis. I think you
That
have
is
nothing but
slick.
pretty airplanes.
Well,
That
it
is
doesn't-
slick.
Okay, the push rod from the bell crank goes into the middle. I got the flap horn on one side and then the elevator push rod on the other side. All right, but it all drives through that same screw. And
Yeah.
so there's no loss in the mechanical advantage by going to one hole down and stuff. Plus,
Yeah.
and I know you guys, when you put ball links on there and you try to put them over and under, they start running into each other.
Yeah.
They sure do.
And when you do this, you avoid all of that stuff. And you avoid all the extra hardware and everything like that. So it's a more direct shot. And the real
I think I'll do
advantage to
that.
me, I think, keep banging this on this post. So on the elevator, then I can put
Big
it down
horn.
at the bottom. It's just more
Yeah.
powered at the elevator horn too. So
Very
maintain
nice.
the one-to-one all the way.
Very
And I'm
But
pretty.
yeah,
still
this
intrigued.
this
That's a-
Pathfinder was built back in '09. We've done a lot of things with it and experimented with a lot of different motors and stuff, and was putting it back into service here. And my plan was to take it to Brodak to sell it, but it looks like I'm not going to have enough room in the car for it. So I guess it'll probably hang around a little bit longer.
What's the weight?
Not sure where it is right now. Originally it was like at 54, 55, something like that.
Not light.
No. Well, it's an ARF, it's not
Yeah.
anything really special about it or
So
anything like
what
that.
battery are you using? I'm using a Thunder Power 4S 2800 in this
Yeah,
one.
4S27. So
Yeah, it's amazing how you can vary the consumption with the prop. The prop
I started using higher pitch props the last couple of years for that reason, and it seems to pay off. I like it.
Yep.
And
agree.
I like I think, historically back when I was flying Glow, I was always fond of wide blade props and stuff. So, and when you take the prop and clip it down, you end up with a slightly wider blade version of the prop and stuff like that. I think that's a positive too. So, but yeah, I'm a big fan of it. And like I say, basically I choose the motors, kind of a minimum motor size for the prop I think I'm gonna use. But I'm not at all shy about putting a bigger motor in if I have to get the balance. So that's real
But that
easy
was
to
a
do.
2820. So if I take a
Well, the Arrow in 2820 is like a Cobra 2826 or a badass 2826. All right.
okay, that's what I'll put in it then,
And
because I have
the-
one.
And a badass 2826 will fly in impact. So that's how strong a badass 2826 is. So
Mhm.
Now I've got a Cobra 2826, but it's not that far behind it.
Yeah,
And
the
it's a
trouble
little
with
heavier.
the Cobras have got lower current ratings than the badass motors do, and I
Mhm.
don't really understand why, how they come to those points and stuff like that. I
I
have
just
heard that
ordered a
people
Cobra. They're
running
not that high.
Cobras are, they complain that the 2826 ran hot, and that's why they started trying to use 35s and whatever, but I
It's-
don't know.
it's
I don't know.
definitely
I
not
really-
hot
20
for mine where it's hanging out in the breeze and everything else. It comes down just warm. And the ESC, I'm using a Edgelight 50 ESC, and it's cold on
Yeah.
on landings. It's just out there and all that prop blast. And
Well, a 2826 ought to fit in the stock 2022 landing. Nose unit, shouldn't it?
Mhm.
yeah,
It'll
Okay.
fit, it'll rattle around inside.
Well, that's
That was
good because I
designed
have
for the
one
slightly
of those, and
larger
I'll just use
motor.
it.
So it'll fit in there just fine.
especially if you're front mounting. If you're front mounting, it should be just dandy.
That's what I'm doing. I know everybody seems to be having a good time with rear mounts, but when I first got into this, everybody was saying, "Oh, stay away from the rear mounts because they're having so much trouble with the bearings." Since I started actually doing it, I haven't heard anybody having any trouble with the bearings. My Nobler's a rear mount. I haven't had any problem with it. I've knocked the nose off of that thing twice.
Paul Walker flies, as many flights as anybody out there, and he has never once front mounted a motor. So
Yeah.
all his stuff is rear. So it's.
Yeah, I talked to him a few weeks ago, and he is, geez, that man is smart. He's something else.
Hey,
Howard.
Howard.
Guys, I'm sorry. I've been wanting to say hi to Lynn for a while. Hey, Lynn, thanks for coming in. So now we have, you're still in Canada, but we have someone who is formerly from Canada in Eric Rule. You know Eric Rule, Lynn? And your mic is muted, by the way.
No, I don't know, but glad to meet you, Eric.
Eric, meet Lynn Burrell. He's from Canada. And hi, Steve. Thanks for coming in, Steve.
We try hard not to hold that against him.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric, talked to you on the phone a lot.
Hey,
but
Steve.
Never seen you.
And let me catch up on the chat box, gentlemen. Jeff Riley said, and we talked about this probably a half hour ago. He said, I don't even like taking APCs out of the wrapper. So talking about how sharp they are, right? And
Well, they work better. They work better if you do.
Yeah, old control line pilot. That's Bob Whitley from also from Canada. He's saying, thanks, Lynn, for the tissue. It looks like a pretty good match.
Good. I'm glad he liked it. That's awesome.
And we're all caught up. Are you trying to show us something, Brent? Or...
Yeah, ask Howard if he's got a weight number. These are impact elevators, sheeted foam.
Oh yeah, Howard, he had a question for you. That's right.
And just curious if you know what a decent weight for a set of impact elevators is.
No, I don't. I know how much mine weigh, or I can find out how much mine weigh and tell you.
Yeah, mine weigh 1.3 ounces right now. I don't have the joiner block, the drive or whatever it's called on it yet, but as they sit right now, they're at 1.3 for the pair.
I can see what mine weighed at that point, I think. Report to you. But that doesn't mean much.
Yeah. Well,
Howard flies quite well. And even though he won't admit it, he made the mistake of showing us his airplane flying, and it flies quite well.
New one flies pretty well, yeah.
The
Old
dog
one's
flew.
okay.
The old dog flew pretty good too.
Yeah.
I don't know, Brent, I think the default weight on a set of elevators is less,
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
less.
sand
Yeah.
more, right?
Yeah, that way you can wrap solder around your tail leg after it's too nose heavy.
I'll take that chance.
I haven't had that
Kidding.
problem lately.
I'm only kidding.
Well,
Dennis, one more
I've
done.
got the nose length set at 11 inches right now on it, so it's a little longer than a stock impact. So
Oh,
Yeah, mine's 11 and a half.
is it?
Or 11 quarter, I guess.
So I put the tail hinge to hinge at 18 and a half inches. So
Mine's
What are your-
18 quarters.
yours is 18,
18 and 3/4 now.
18 quarters. Well,
Tell you what, only
These numbers
control
make
line
sense when we're-
flyers lengthen their nose. Everyone else gets them shorter.
These numbers make sense for impacts, but it's not something to, I mean, it's a way of comparing impacts, but it's useless for
Yep.
comparing their airplanes.
that's why I mentioned it, because
Yeah.
I sure like seeing yours fly up at the Northwest one is up there. That thing cornered so hard and flat.
That's the new one.
Powerful.
Yeah, it's not even trimmed yet.
Well, no, I mean the one that I saw back in 2018 or 2019 or what it was.
Oh,
That thing would just looked like it just came down and just sat in the corners. Bop.
new one's better.
Is it?
Yeah.
Howard, are you
Yes.
still going to Poland?
Yes, I hope so.
When do you go?
About the end of July. We're going to a contest in Germany the week before.
The World Cup thing?
No, I'm going to that also, but there's a local contest in Frankfurt.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
good
you
luck.
sound like you got a heck of a trip planned out there. That
Yes.
sounds- That
You outta
sounds
here,
like a
Eric?
great one.
How long you gonna be gone, Howard? A month?
Have a good one, guys.
Hey, thanks,
I don't
Eric,
know.
for coming in. Appreciate
Eric.
it.
Eric, take
so
care.
nice to-
Hey, Eric, make sure you send me your t-shirt size.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh,
I'm gonna jump out too, guys. You have a good night.
Hey, thanks,
Yeah.
Brent.
You take care of yourself.
Hey,
Uh,
Dennis, before I forget, I keep meaning to ask you, what did you finally use on that little Mustang for the battery ends?
it's a 3S22.
No, I got the batteries, but I want to make sure they got the right connectors on it.
Oh, XT60.
Okay,
Yeah, I switched it. Why did I switched it over? I set up the ESC for the XT60 because the first battery you sent had that on it. But that was a 2700 battery. I think is really too big for, what it needs to do. So,
yeah. All
so
right,
the ESC right now has a XT60 on it.
all right. I'll set these batteries up. And I'm bringing them with me there, so.
Yeah, I keep forgetting
Dennis,
I got
one
to
more-
write Mark and what's his name about that. So
one more dumb question. I'll try to hush. You would not extend the nose on the Pathfinder?
well, this one I'm showing you is the ARF. We had no trouble balancing it. All right. So
Well, the
that's where I'm coming
26.
from.
It's got a
I
pretty
think-
long nose.
I just leave it alone then.
I think you
I just
should
leave
leave
it like
it
it is.
alone.
I'll
Use
just leave
that
it alone, yeah.
box. The box is a pretty light install and everything like that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's, is that a build, you're not modifying an ARF, are you?
No. It's a total scratch build.
Yeah, okay, so it should be, weight wise, it'll probably be lighter. It's certainly lighter in the tail and stuff like that, so. I don't
Oh,
think
it should be
I
light
don't
in the
think you're
tail.
gonna have to, I don't think you're gonna have to, length. I haven't lengthened in moments on anything I've converted. All right.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I ain't gonna worry about it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say goodnight, guys.
Hey,
I'm
Lynn,
I gotta get
thank
out
you
of
for
here
coming
too.
in.
Going
Did
to
you fly
try this
your new
weekend.
airplane
Yeah.
yet? Have you flown your
yeah.
new airplane?
I tested it today. It ran terrible. The engine didn't
Oh.
run very good.
Yeah.
I
What, the
don't
Bear?
understand. Yeah, I don't understand how to set up a pipe, but I'll have to talk to you guys next week about it. I'll have it at Brodax and I'll monkey with it there. It's
Is that the
not,
Bear?
yeah, like I don't understand how to set up the fuel lines and everything for it. So because it's a pipe and it's pressurized and it didn't
Do
run
you
very
have
well.
to run it on? Do you have to run it on pressure?
I don't know.
'Cause
I've
had
never
mine-
run a
I had
pipe. I
mine-
have no idea. I don't know anything
I had
about it.
mine hooked up. I had mine hooked up on pressure and kept having headaches with it. And
Okay.
all this stuff kept changing. And I ended up taking the pressure off and just running suction, just like what you're used to.
With ram air pressure into the
Yep,
air, and
with
that's
ram
it.
air-
I'm going to
ram air
try that.
pressure into it.
I'm
and
going to
let it
try
rip, and
that then. That's
it
so
ran
much
great.
easier. So much
Yeah.
easier to run. I'll try that.
Yeah, Len, standard Uniflow tank, man.
With ram air pressure?
Yeah, just your
Yeah.
Uniflow open, your overflow
Oh,
plugged,
perfect.
and
Okay.
go
Yeah,
right
'cause-
to
okay.
the pickup.
All right. See, Windy had put a nipple on it on the side of the pipe, and I thought, well, I guess I got to use this.
Get rid of it.
All right.
No.
Well, I don't want. I'll just put a cap on it. Perfect. Thank
That's
you.
what I did.
All
See you
right,
Monday,
guys.
Lynn.
Yeah. I gotta. Yeah, I'll see you. What are you going to be at Brodax Monday? Is that your plan?
I plan to be there Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, I'll be
All
there
right.
Sunday night, and I'll be there Monday all day and Tuesday all
right.
well,
we'll be
Tuesday
seeing-
half a day.
We'll see all you guys there. All right. That's awesome.
You take
I
care of
gotta,
yourself, Lynn.
I gotta leave for a contest in 4 hours, and I've got no sleep yet.
Okay.
All right.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
Good
I gotta
luck.
go. All right. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Good night. Thanks, Lynn.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Thinking I might change.
Hey guys,
Steve,
I got
you've been behaving yourself.
hold on.
I'm sorry.
I got a flying technique question I want to ask about. So,
Okay.
you know, we fly electric, and well, I'll start with this question. The motor has to spool up all the way before you can release it, right? You can't kind of, while it's at a lower RPM, release it to start your
You
flight.
sure can.
Yeah, I've seen it all kinds of ways. You
Mine
sure can.
comes up in 6 steps. I've told everybody that launches my plane for me, when it hits the 3rd one, watch for me, because when you hear it start ramping up on the 3rd one, I'm gonna give you the signal. That's when I want you to let it go. That way I get a good quarter lap roll out and it picks up. Because if you let that thing wait till it's full speed to let it go, it's gonna roll about 4 feet. It's in the air.
Yep.
But that's the thing, though. Aren't you supposed? I thought by the rules, and I don't follow this stuff very closely. I thought the rules were you have to let it spool all the way up before releasing.
Absolutely not. There's
There's
nothing in
no
the
rule.
rule
I haven't
that
heard
says
that.
anything like
Okay.
that.
So that's what I was wondering then, because you know we let the thing spool up all the way, and then when I'm releasing Angstrom's plane, I mean it just immediately zooms into the air. Like you can't get a roll on it.
Yeah, it rolls in toward you too. If you got it
It
forward.
sure does.
Well,
Part of the-
not always,
part of-
Howard, but
Part of
Not
the
in your
beauty
Yeah,
of
not
these-
always.
yeah.
Not always.
Not always.
of the beauty of these
Brendan, there is
electrics
one
is you
other
can do that.
concern. If you are flying in a deep grass field
Yeah.
or something like that, sometimes it's a good idea to let the thing spool up so it doesn't roll on the ground too long.
Right.
But if
Okay.
you're flying on concrete
Right.
or a well-cut field or something like that, like Phil says, somewhere halfway, give or take, let it go. And, my airplane comes up to speed sometime, around the end of the first lap or so,
About the end of the first lap. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I would definitely do that and take advantage. Well, frankly, and the other things it does, it saves on the battery and everything like that. Because
Sure.
when it's sitting there, just being restrained on the ground, that's sucking up battery. So
Yeah.
with no
Okay.
payoff. So
Glad I asked.
Yes, that's a good question. Thank
Yeah.
you. I
You
didn't
know-
even know that myself.
Yeah, I will say when we go to the after the party, I got something to share to start off things. So
All right.
Uh-oh. I might have to stick around a minute then. This should be good.
yeah, that's it.
it was good.
Uh-oh.
Well, it's 9:01, so we can transition to the after party. That's when we cut the live stream, but we continue on. And tonight we had a pretty good show. I had a new guest in Eric Rule. I've been asking him to come in for a while, and I finally caught up with him and got him in here. So I really appreciate that. Anyways, thank you very much for coming in. We're gonna end the stream, but we'll be back Monday. So hopefully you have a chance to go in your shop or fly and come back and share with us the details Monday. So until then, see you then. Bye-bye.